From the Vox Populi Studios in Miami Lakes, we bring you the Miami Lakes Business Podcast. Welcome, everybody. And today we'd like to welcome a good friend, a member of the Chamber, somebody that has a unique type of business that we love very much, Mr. Carlos Padron, the owner of the Tank Brewing Company. So, Carlos, welcome to our podcast. You've been a member of the Chamber for probably a little over a year.
Yes.
And we love this, and we even put on display here, some of your product, which we all enjoy, and we all, like to taste from time to time.
Thanks.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know that you are a Cuban exile, just like me, and you came to this country and lived in the La Sabuesera and the Shenandoah area and what have you. And how can a person that comes like that from Cuba, that came like that with hardly anything, has become what you have become, which is just not only the owner of the tank, but you also distribute the cigars, and also you're an attorney as well, and belong to a firm. So I mean, you are, if you talk about accomplished, you are that accomplished, no question. So tell us a little bit about the origin.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me here, and Tico for inviting us, getting me involved with the Chamber. Matthew is obviously, I mean, it's amazing the passion that all you guys have and love that you have for this city. So it's such an easy answer to always be here, right? And it's been very productive. The Chamber has given back already in supporting us as well. So that's very appreciative, right? And before we get going on me, congratulations to you for last night that I hear that you got a street named after you, which is a tremendous honor,
Thank
right?
you so much.
And I saw some of the pictures with all of your family there. That was just
it was
amazing feeling.
Totally unbeknownst to me. Never expected anything in a million years that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I thought it would only happen to people that died.
well,
So I told the council last night, I said, well, if this is a message that I'm getting close to the thing.
No, absolutely not. You look great. It's just an honor for everything that you do to the city, and the street is very special, right? I mean, I guess where it's happening, right? Where you professionally grew up, I guess.
Thank you. Thank you.
And to answer your question, from my end, I actually was born here. I didn't come from Cuba, so my parents came from Cuba in 62, 63. I got born a couple of years later, right? And so, I think. Like you did with your family, it's probably what's instilled in us since early on, right? Is that we have an obligation to move ahead and do better, right? And my parents, I was an only child, so they focused me on education, right? Went to the same high school ultimately as Matthew went as well, right? And
Belen graduate.
A Belen graduate, and that created a great foundation as well, not only scholastically, but a group of friends that helped us grow and instill in you in that. I guess it's a thought process and preparation to you got to do you got to move better and do well, right? And not only financially or business wise, family wise, and so I think that's kind of what ends up driving you. How you drive and get into these different businesses, it's just opportunities that may present themselves, right, over the time, right? I know people sometimes talk about nowadays, hey, you got to have a passion for this. Really, I didn't know that I would have a passion for cigars, right? When I was in high school or in college, right? But or beer, right? And you just you develop your ways, right? And at least that's what I tell some of the younger kids, including my own kids, right? Is you'll find what you'll like, and you'll go forward from there, right?
Talk to us a little bit about the trajectory of you became obviously an attorney first.
That's correct.
And then from being an attorney, which is it's a nice life, and you make good money, and you still have your law practice, and you still have the office that you're a partner with. Yeah. But how that an attorney jumps into cigars, and then from cigars jumping into brewery?
So when I first started, you get brought into a firm, and then back then I did an insurance defense law firm, and and actually two partners left from there, Pam and Gene Beckham, and they moved to North Miami Beach. And at that time, I was doing a lot of litigation, and I realized this isn't for me. I had an accounting background, and a litigator has a special skill set and a special personality, in my opinion. And with my accounting background, I always wanted to drive myself into transactional work, right? Be that real estate or some kind of commercial. And from there, started learning. And in '95, had the opportunity to represent Mr. Plasencia in a joint venture deal. And our families are close, even though we're not blood related. Our families were close, had farms next to each other, and started giving me an opportunity to learn a little bit about my family history while working and learning about a product that back then I didn't even smoke cigars. And he gave me a tremendous opportunity as time developed, because through this joint venture, the deal needed to be monitored. He really didn't have an office in Miami. Back then, cell phone service didn't exist, right? So, and if you needed to send a fax, right, no emails either, you to Honduras or to Nicaragua, you had to wake up like at 6 o'clock in the morning, and I've always been an early riser, so slowly I became his office in Miami, and helping with the operations, and he gave me a lot more and more liberties, and my responsibilities there grew, and so that's what happened over the years. You got sucked into a business that people really. It's a product, I know not everybody smokes, but it's a product that the ones who make it take a lot of pride in it, right? And slowly over the years, and around 2012, it's also a heavily regulated business. Started seeing a lot of those similarities in the craft beer world too, right? And so we happened to own a warehouse. We saw that there's the passion that people have for the making of the cigars, the smoking of cigars. They also have it in the craft beer world. My brewers are as passionate about it as the guys who make cigars down in Honduras or Nicaragua, or the people who own the brands. And we thought it's an early stage business as opposed to the West Coast, that there's a lot of people, and decided to jump into it, right? And just to tie both things together, we also have a cigar lounge, and we say we're the first brewery that has a cigar shop associated with it, right? Right next door to it, or connected, basically. Yeah.
It's the liquor or beer market is a highly competitive business.
Yeah.
How does a boutique type or craft, as you call it, type beer compete in the marketplace with giants, as we know? I'm not going to mention the names, but we all know who they are.
Yeah.
How do you compete with them?
It's really tough, right? It's not. I can't tell you, because of the 3-tier system. It's really a tough marketplace, right? Especially if you're out there. Luckily, our tasting room helps us with our margins, right? So the people that come in there, that helps us substantially, and that's a benefit that the law provides here in Florida. But it's just slowly. I mean, at the end of the day, it's doing this, what we're doing here, right? It's the community support that you get from communities like Miami Lakes and all throughout Miami, our friendship supports, right? That spreads the word. First, it has to be a good liquid, right? And so we have that. It's a good, consistent liquid. And then the rest is just slowly building a brand. And the tendency that I think communities such as Miami Lakes, because you guys do this all the time for ribbon cutting, that you help your local businesses, that trend, I think people continue, right? And once they try the product, if they like it, which most people do, they understand to support that, right? It's not to say that these bigger companies don't employ people here too, but it's just a different feeling, right?
Right.
And so it's all word of mouth right now, right? We don't have those marketing dollars to come out on a Super Bowl ad and stuff like that, and we slowly building it, right? It does take a lot of time to build a brand and get people, especially as we're traveling north, to the Tampa and Orlando area within Florida.
No, I know I can attest to the fact that the beer is high quality beer.
Thank you.
Delicious. I've tasted them all.
Thank you.
And I like them all. But where do you see the tank beer's future? How do you see it? How? What plans do you have?
Yeah.
What's your vision?
Yeah, I mean the vision is to continue to grow it, right? I mean we spend a long time here in the Miami-Dade, Broward County area. Let's say from Pompano down, right? And it's just it's still a small. We have such a small segment of the market, right? And it's getting people to try it, right? And getting people to associate with it, and the names which are, as you know, because I know you've tried it and you've been there. You got Freedom Tower, right? And that's a particular style, and the Cubans in particular, but overall that building has a tremendous historical significance. Loca, it's over low calorie. Farito, the lighthouse at Bill Baggs Park, right? That's our
I love that
IPA,
one.
and Playita, right? Which is everybody. So hopefully, as you're having it, that you get to enjoy it, and you see it out in the hands of the people, and it's great, right? I mean, like it's yes, I'm an attorney, I have all these other businesses, but the brewers and the people that have helped me start this, even some that are maybe no longer with us, but were part of the starting process, makes a big, it's for them as well, right? It's for all of us, right? And when you're at a bar at a restaurant, and I'm not branded or something like that, and somebody orders your product,
Makes you feel good.
it really does, right? It really good. That it wasn't because I pushed it or because I was there and they're having it. It's a fun product, right? It really is a fun product.
Tell us a little bit, Carlos, about you're a family man.
Yeah,
And I know you love your family and
absolutely.
love to be around.
Yeah.
You have I've never been there, but I know you have a beautiful farm as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Tell us a little bit about your family.
Yeah, so I am an only child. My wife is an only. She has two half brothers, but we ended up and I have two adopted brothers in the Casamayor guys, right? They're claiming I'm their older brother, but we'll
But
see.
is that a true claim?
That's not. Yes, absolutely. But we're gonna make them part of the business. Maybe the Casamayors will start contributing capital to the tank. We'll see. We'll see. They may drop me as a brother pretty soon, right? But so I have 5 kids. Really proud of them. Twins. They go from twins that are 31, and my youngest who is 20. So. You got, my son is now working with me. He got a master's of public health, but started working with me in the cigar business. My daughter, who's a pediatrician. My next daughter, who works in Republica Havas, Lewis's company, right? And grateful for him and George that gave her the opportunity, and she's happy there. One daughter who's a kindergarten teacher.
Oh, wow.
And one that's now officially a junior, almost a senior because of extra credits that she had. So, it's all about them. At the end of the day, that very well. I mean, you could talk about business all day long, but the reason we do it
It's the family.
is that, and the accomplishment that I'm most proud of is them, right? To be honest with you, I tell them all the time, right? If I were to pass away, I'm happy that I was able to provide you an education, right? And that you're going off forward on your own. You've been lucky and blessed that things have gone in the right direction, and so that's what it to me. You remember that more.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, you remember that more than closing a deal or
Absolutely.
all of this stuff. So the fact that they're also involved with this business is kind of fun, right? And now I have a grandchild, right? And which I know, proud of. It's a lot of fun, right? And God willing, another one on the way at the end of December, right?
Beautiful,
So yeah.
And grandkids are a wonderful thing.
Oh
to
yeah,
have,
it's so much fun, right now, and luckily, work schedules permit me to, some days go home early or spend time with him, and then get to shove them back off to their parents. Right? That's also that's also a
that's
nice.
the beauty of being a
That's also a
grandparent.
good thing, right? Yeah. But you worry about them just like you do
Oh,
your
yes, of
kids,
course.
right? Yeah.
Of course you do.
Yeah.
Let's share with our public how can they buy your beer besides
thank
going
you.
to the tank and having a
No,
good time there.
And there's
and-
many places here in Miami Lakes that carry our beer as well. So most of the time, you either buy it on draft or on cans, right? And you could buy it in many of your local restaurants and bars all throughout Miami-Dade County, also in the Tampa, Orlando area. but you could also buy it in your supermarkets, right? Some of the Sedanos carry it, some of the Publixes, some Winn-Dixie's, Milam's. I hate mentioning stores, Total Wines, Crown Liquors, a lot of, stores carry them. And so you could find them there. In the market, it's generally Freedom Tower, the one that you will see out there, Freedom Tower in Playita, almost for sure you'll see them at the stores in cans. And then Loca in some of the stores and locations as well. So slowly we're coming out with Farito, and we're actually coming up with hopefully another beer by the end of the year called Padron. Yes.
People can buy your beer anywhere.
Yeah, generally it's pretty easy to find, right? I mean, we would like it to be in more places, right? But that's what we're working forward. Right?
Yeah, well, maybe even here in Miami Lakes sometimes.
That's right.
Something may happen with the tank itself.
Absolutely, absolutely. Anything that we could do, and again, and a lot of the times in these bars and restaurants, it's they appreciate it's locals helping locals, right? Mm-hmm. Local businesses as well, so they appreciate that.
Absolutely, I have one of our employees. Is a faithful customer of yours, but he goes to the tank and he goes with 2 empty kegs.
Okay,
right. And then he exchanges them, I guess, or fills
growler,
them or whatever.
The growler system.
Right, but he's been doing that for a few years now.
Thank him for us.
I will. Well, it's been great having you here, Carlos.
And by the way, I have here a little shirt for you. Go Heat, right?
So wonderful.
This was Stefano came up with this, and in the back it says a tank, but it's a 3% chance, 100% culture. Which obviously,
let's hold it up together so that we can,
there we go. Yeah,
so that people can see it.
That's right.
Yeah,
so you actually could go on our website and buy it. We're excited about
so much.
Game 3 tonight, and overall, I think that's something that we've. Obviously it goes with the Heat and a team that's gone through a lot of adversity this year and got into the finals. But as a small business owner, I think we could all relate to that, right? Every small business has a small chance of survivor, but the culture lives on, and I think beyond the Heat, that represents us as well.
And I'm sure that tonight the tank will be jumping.
Absolutely. It really has helped business a lot, right?
That's
so it's great. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, it's been an honor having you here.
The honor's all mine.
It was good. All the information that you have provided our public and our people here in Miami Lakes. We really appreciate that. And I invite all of you to go to the tank and meet Carlos there. And he's usually there. And have a Plasencia cigar in the cigar room and what have you. And have a good time. And if you don't want to go down to where the brewery is, you can go to the grocery store and buy a 6-pack and enjoy it at home.
Or some of your local restaurants here too, right?
There you go. So we thank you so much for being here with us.
And thank you for inviting me to the chamber, and you and Tico, and getting us partly involved. It's been a lot of fun, right? And what we've learned here, we've been able to apply it in other cities and communities. So thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for being with us today. Until next time.